back to my channel, and today I have a really fun book tag for you guys, and if you stick around to the end, a really fun announcement. Today's book tag is the Gryffindor book tag, which I semi-created. I looked up the Gryffindor book tag on YouTube and couldn't find any videos, but I did search it online and found a blog post. So I used a lot of her prompts, and then I also added a few of my own. I will link the blog post down below so that you guys can check out those prompts. But without any further ado, let's get into the Gryffindor book tag. Prompt number one is, what is your favorite Harry Potter book? And for me, this was kind of hard to answer because I haven't read the Harry Potter books in quite a long time. I really enjoyed them when I read them the first time, and I've only reread maybe one or two of the books since I originally read them. But in the end, I chose the one that I've reread the most, which is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. This is, of course, the third in the series, and I love this one because it's full of really fun magical creatures. I mean, who doesn't love Buckbeak? And I love Sirius Black and Remus Lupin, and I just really like this one. It's still fun and useful before it gets a little bit darker of a tone in the next few books. So I like that, and I just think it's a really fun one. Next up is the house colors, and Gryffindor's house colors are red and gold. Name a book that has red and or gold on the cover. For this, I got Eldest by Christopher Paolini, and this is the second book to, I don't know what the name of the trilogy is, but Aragorn is the first one. I love this series. I was looking at it and thinking I really need to reread it because I've only read it the one time and it's been quite a few years, but I love this series and the dragons are really fun, and it's got red and gold. Next up is Nearly Headless Nick, who is the house ghost, and for this you need to name a character with a disappointing death. Spoilers ahead for anyone who has not read or seen Mockingjay. You know, most people probably have, but just in case, I will put the timestamp right here to skip to if you don't want to see any spoilers. So, one more time, spoilers ahead. For me, the most disappointing death, and this is not the one that you guys probably think I'm going to say, but it is Finnick Odair in Mockingjay. This book overall is pretty disappointing for me, I have to say. The ending is not my favorite, but his death was one of the worst things ever to happen in literary fiction. I remember reading this book for the first time, and every time I reread it, I cry again. But the first time I read it, I literally had to take a break from the book because I was crying so much that I couldn't see. I just think he's an amazing character. He's probably my favorite character in all of the Hunger Games series. He has the best character arc, and I was extremely upset when he died and how he died. It was horrific. Next up is the fat lady, who is the guard of the Gryffindor common room, and for this you need to name a book or series that completely demanded your full attention. You couldn't put it down. For me, this was the Three Dark Crowns series. I absolutely loved it. As soon as I read the first one, I picked up what I thought were the last two because I thought it was a trilogy, and then I found out there was a fourth one, and I immediately got that one. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't put it down. I read it within like a month. I read the full 4 books, and I definitely recommend that series. Speaking of the common room, what is one of your favorite cozy places to read? I have a couple of places. A lot of times I read out on the couch while people are watching TV. A lot of times I read in bed right before I go to sleep, but also I have this awesome reading nook that I absolutely love that I created for myself in my little garage apartment. So it's got my TBR bookshelf right here. It's also got my piles of books in my full TBR over here because they don't all fit on this shelf. Check out my TBR trim down series for how I'm gonna rectify that. And then I have this fun beanbag chair, and I just recently put up these curtains with the lights because I thought it would be really pretty. So yeah, I love reading in here. It's super quiet and comfortable. Next up, let's talk about some of the traits that Gryffindors have. So the first one is bravery. For this, I want you to name a book that you read or want to read that is outside your comfort zone. For this, I have chosen Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This is a thriller, but it's also, I believe, sci-fi. And I'm not usually into a lot of sci-fi type reads, but this was the Thrillerathon group book for the latest edition of Thrillerathon, and I didn't get to it then, but I really want to read it, and I've heard really good things about it, so hopefully pretty soon this one will come up and I can read it. The next trait is determination, and for this I want you to name off a book that you needed a little bit of determination in order to get through. For me, this book is The Woman in the Window by A.J. Finn. I read this, well, I listened to it on audiobook during the latest Thrillerathon, and I found it to be really boring and really obvious what the twist was going to be. It took a lot of determination and a lot of speeding up, whatever that's called, speeding up the audiobook so that I could get through it quicker. It was way too long and yeah, just really boring. The last trait that we're going to talk about is adventurous, and for this I want you to name a book or series that took you on a grand adventure. This one was interesting for me because I definitely like to read some fantasy books that, you know, are all about adventure, but I was looking through the books that I'd read over the last year or so, and one book that really took me on a grand adventure that is a little bit different was Grandma Gatewood's Walk. This is a nonfiction book about a woman who was actually the first woman to walk the Appalachian Trail solo, and she was in, I believe, her 70s or maybe her late 60s the first time she did it. It was about her journey on the Appalachian Trail, as well as kind of her life leading up to it, and it was so fascinating. It made me want to go hiking, and it was really a great adventure. So I definitely recommend that book, although I will say I did give it 3 out of 5 stars because sometimes the author of it went off on kind of weird tangents, but the stuff about Grandma Gatewood I really, really enjoyed, so I would definitely highly recommend that. And that is it for the Gryffindor book tag. If you are a Gryffindor, I tag you. I will also link down below the Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin book tags so that if you are of any house of Harry Potter, you can do a fun book tag dedicated to your house. Now on to a really fun announcement. I'm going to be doing a Harry Potter read-along, and I'm super excited. This will be the first read-along I've ever hosted, and I'm basically just doing it because I want to reread the Harry Potter books, and I thought some of you might want to read them along with me, so why not do it together? Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my dog decided to join me. Say hi, Lucky. Hi, this is Lucky. He's my very cute doggy. But anyways, yeah, so how it's going to work is each month, starting in May, we're going to read one Harry Potter book. And, of course, we'll be starting with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And we'll work our way through the series, and we'll end in December with Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I'm holding upside down. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, which I have not read yet. Each month, we're going to read one book, and then my dog is... just a second. He's very distracting. So each month we'll read one book, and then I will have a live show talking about the book and answering questions about the book and just discussing it and having fun. So I hope you'll join me in this Harry Potter read-along, and if you do, comment below to let me know that you're joining in, and of course watch out for the dates of those live videos. They will probably be near the end of the month that we're reading each book in. Really excited. I hope it'll be really fun and that we can all discuss Harry Potter together and just have fun rereading books that I loved when I was younger and that I know a lot of you guys loved and still love. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you guys with another video very soon.